The last minutes of Ryan Dunn were indeed the one of most horrifying events the millennials of the early 2010s experienced. He was a beloved celebrity, partner, friend, and son. Most importantly, he was the face of American daredevilry from the late 90s until his demise. He was one of the biggest faces on American television in the early 2000s, starring in the popular reality TV show Jackass, from where he would gain popularity and go on to co-host other shows and star in films. But what are the events that led to that fateful night in the town of West Goshen where Ryan would lose his life? Join us as we explore how Ryan's lifelong obsession with speed would lead to his untimely and unfortunate demise. Birth and upbringing. Ryan Dunn, born Ryan Matthew Dunn on June 11, 1997 in Medina, Ohio, in the United States of America, was born to parents Ronald Dunn and Linda Piscitello. Dunn would spend his early life in Williamsville, New York, after which his family shifted over to Westchester, Pennsylvania. He would meet his best friend and co-star Bam Margera while attending school at Westchester East High School. He and Margera were inseparable since they met from day one of school. Dunn was moved to Westchester to control his drug problem. Dunn and Margera would find a substitute for the drugs Dunn was hooked on with adrenaline. Margera was a talented skateboarder at the time, and Dunn was an aspiring daredevil. The two of them would form a bond over recording pranks and failed stunts and showcasing it proudly to their friends. Their friend group would grow over the years, which would lead them to establish the CKY Crew, an acronym that would stand for Camp Kill Yourself, under which they would start to release more prank videos and failed stunts. Dunn, in the meantime, would also find work as a welder at a car repair shop part-time to support himself. Margera and Dunn would soon find their big break by posting these videos. The beginning of stardom. While Dunn and Margera were creating and posting new videos with CKY, on the other side in Los Angeles, Jeff Tremaine, an editor for the skateboarding magazine Big Brother, was looking to cast members for a new reality show that would consist of stunts and pranks. He would take notice of a growing sensation, that being the CKY Crew, and their filmed antics, which would involve a large group of their friends and family in the clips. Tremaine would take notice of the CKY Crew with their compilation video named CKY2K, consisting of several pranks and stunts they pulled off. Tremaine, being convinced of their potential, flew Margera out to Los Angeles to meet Johnny Knoxville and Spike Jonze. Tremaine, Knoxville, and Jonze planned to create and produce a new show featuring a group of people doing stunts and pranks. Tremaine would shoot some demo footage for something that would soon become the beloved show, Jackass. The trio were all set to begin producing their new show as soon as someone gave them a platform to do so. Once the MTV deal was secured for the show, Tremaine would go on to assemble the last few cast members of the infamous Jackass crew. The first episode of Jackass would go on to air on October 1, 2000, with the full crew consisting of Johnny Knoxville, Bam Margera, Steve-O, Aaron McGehee, Chris Pontius, Jason Weeman, Acuna, Dave England, Preston Lacey, and Ryan Dunn, marking the start of an incredible reality show and lifelong relationships. The airing of the second episode of Jackass would draw in 2.4 million viewers in the 12 to 34 age demographic. Sadly, the show did not last for long as it was canceled after 3 seasons in 2001. The cast, crew, and executive producers of Jackass would depart with their TV producers bitterly. Johnny Knoxville had revealed that MTV was hammering down on the show with heavy censorship, which caused their creativity to be stifled. In addition to this, Steve-O, one of the stars of the show, revealed that their salaries were very meager. This would cause the entire team involved in Jackass to end the show abruptly with no finale. This would not mark the end of the Jackass franchise, though. Ryan by no means limited his daredevilry for the camera. He was known for driving dangerously fast and even flipped a car 8 times with Margera in the passenger seat. Perhaps an ominous forewarning for what lay ahead in Dunn's future, perhaps? Dunn also received about 23 citations, all in all, for his driving, of which more than 10 were for speeding. Ryan would go on to co-host the show Proving Ground with Jessica Chobot, which would be the last show in which Ryan would appear, passing away only 6 days later. Accident and eventual passing. The day of June 20th, 2011 would see the joyful night turn into a mournful morning. The night Ryan was going to pass away, he was out with friends celebrating a new deal that they had secured. Of the partygoers was Ryan's friend and production assistant of the second Jackass film, 30-year-old Zachary Hartwell, whose life would also be claimed that fateful night. The duo would be celebrating together, immortalizing their camaraderie and friendship by posting on Twitter a photo making memories of what should have been a great night for both Dunn and Hartwell. They would leave Barnaby's, the local bar in Westchester where they were celebrating, and get into Dunn's Porsche 911 GT, which would be the last time the both of them were seen alive. The two would clamber on into Ryan's Porsche and disappear into the night, never to be seen again. Alive, that is. With their prolonged absence at places they were required, the town would start to trace back the steps Ryan took in his car that night. And what the town of West Goshen would find is horrific. On Route 332, the site of a gut-wrenching accident would be discovered, with the worst fears of searchers and onlookers being confirmed once the bodies on the site were examined. There, among the burnt metal and wood, lay the bodies of Ryan Dunn and Zachary Hartwell. According to forensic reports, Dunn and Hartwell would have been hurtling down the road at 130 miles per hour, 209 kilometers per hour, on Route 332 when Dunn lost control and hit a guardrail, which made them fly into the trees, not long before which the car got enveloped in flames. The blunt force trauma of the crash, combined with the heat, is presumed to be the primary cause of death. The impact would cause the once performance machine to be reduced to several scrap pieces, which were black from the soot and smoke of the fire. Dunn's body would have to be subsequently identified by his tattoos and hair due to the extent to which his body was brutalized. An evident skid mark with a length of 100 feet was discovered in the path of his accident, insinuating that he had attempted to brake or slow down to avoid a mishap. The accident was chalked up to a case of drunken driving, as autopsy reports had revealed that his body had over 0.196 blood alcohol content, which was 8 times over the state limit. This would surprise Ryan's friends and family, as he was not a known heavy drinker, but did have a prior incident in 2005 where he was convicted for drunken driving, but cleared his record by joining a first offenders program that wiped the slate in exchange for a certain period of good behavior. It was unsure as to whether both the victims passed away on the spot or suffered an agonizing death at the hands of the fire. But one thing was for sure, and that was it was a horrific sight for onlookers. Bam Margera would visit the site the next day to find out his best friend since high school and co-star passed away tragically in the accident. He would later recall, "I've never lost anybody that I cared about. It's my best friend," Margera said. He was the happiest person ever, the smartest guy. He had so much talent, and he had so many things going for him. This is not right, not right. Aftermath. Ryan's death would not only shock family and friends, but millions of fans around the country. They would gather together at the site of the accident the next day to lay down wreaths and mementos in honor of the star and his friend in a show of love and support for the two, a shrine dedicated to their life and the happiness the both brought to the people around them. It would also leave a blemish that still hasn't faded after all these years in the lives of Hartwell's parents. Zachary's parents, who were heartbroken over the passing of their son, would file charges against the co-administrators of Dunn's estate and Barnaby's Westchester for negligence and recklessness, along with wrongful death in the incident of the accident, showing their grief by trying to pin the blame onto anything they could, in a situation where no one could be blamed. They also seeked to receive what was due to their son for his prior work on the Jackass show, and also seek to recover the costs for his funeral. The lawsuit, as of 2023, still has no clear outcome and is a long-standing symbol of the pain that both sides suffered. Legacy and struggles, Ryan left behind a huge impact in the world of daredevilry and stuntmanship, paving the way for many others who aspired to be like him. He was always pushing the boundaries and striving for more absurd additions to already dangerous stunts. Ryan Dunn was nothing short of a pioneer in the world of stunts and showmanship. He was a well-respected member of the cast of Jackass and was beloved by many, not only in America, but around the globe. His enthusiasm and positivity are missed by several many who loved and adored him.